Is it still worth it to buy XRP? This is by far the most asked question on the channel. Is it too late to buy HBAR? Is my time to buy Cardano over, or should I go in all in? Should I sell the house and buy more coins? Anyway, today I'll be tackling whether or not I think that XRP is still a good buy or something we should be selling right now. So if you're enjoying these type of videos, make sure you press that like button, as we've been breaking like records every single day here. Just want to quickly say I appreciate every single one of you, especially those who press the like button. XRP's price today, $1.93. XRP's price earlier in the month, 51 cents. The gain over the month, 274%. Current market cap, 110 billion. Highest market cap it's ever gotten to is about 127 billion. XRP versus the US dollar has had one of the most insane periods here of the past few weeks. As we just noted, the price is almost up 300% or so in the shortest amount of time, as it went from 50 cents to $2 in just the span of a month. But is it really that crazy? Actually, if we start thinking about it, well, back in 2021, the XRP price also went from roughly 45 cents to what? I'm going to say here about $2 in the span of a month. So it has actually happened before. It's not that unique, but let's actually kind of look at some prices earlier. The lowest point here on the week of December 11th was 22 cents per XRP. That is December 11th. The highest point was, I believe, the 4th of January at a price of $3.30 per XRP. So in that span of 3 or so weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, we had gone from 22 cents all the way towards $3.30. I'm not sure if y'all can count, but that's about a 1,500% increase. And again, the same span of time that we've gone from 50 cents to $2 in right now. From a monthly perspective, XRP looks topped. And so I understand some fear of this being the highest that XRP is going to go in a long time. But there's two counters. One is if we take a look at Bitcoin's performance. Bitcoin usually goes up for about 3 years in a bull run, of which only 2 years have passed. We kind of think another year or so of Bitcoin gains are upon us. So again, if we then take a look at the XRP versus Bitcoin chart, we expect another crazy year for Bitcoin, right? Usually in the Bitcoin part of an alt or of a bull run, which is about 2 of those years, where 1 year is about the alt season. XRP, just any altcoin loses market cap versus Bitcoin, it goes down on the XRP versus BTC chart. And then once the altcoin season starts, it starts trending upwards. We believe that right now, in terms of dollars, things might look kind of tough. They might look kind of scary based on previous price action. But based on Bitcoin, and I think it's a really, really fair assessment to make, it really looks like we're just starting to make a dent in the history. So what are we expecting? Well, from now on forward, we kind of expect XRP to regain some of the lost price, some of the lost value versus Bitcoin, which if it were to go back to the top would be about a 42x. I'm not sure it's going to do that because things have changed in the market. There's a lot more coins out there now. I'm not sure if it can have such a relative size versus Bitcoin, but let's just say it recoups about what? Maybe, right? If the maximum we could ever get is about a 4,000% increase, let's just say we numb it down a little bit and go from the bottom here for about a 10x or so, which from right here, right now, would maybe, let's just say we put ourselves at 0.8. Nowhere close to some of the previous heights. That's about a 315% increase right now in the XRP price. But take this, that is versus Bitcoin. That means Bitcoin right now stays at $100,000 practically, and XRP were to gain about 3x from here, going to about $6. If Bitcoin then were to actually also increase, which again, we do believe it's going to do for about another year, maybe it's going to go to 300,000, for example, that would then mean BTC going times 3 and XRP going times 3 versus Bitcoin, meaning about a 9x, if not slightly more, which would place it as maybe even $18 per XRP. Why am I stating all this? Why am I talking crazy about the price right now? Why am I putting up $20 targets? Well, right now, as you guys know, I've got my trades on XRP open over on Blowfin. A link, by the way, for Blowfin is down below. If you sign up, it's basically a crypto exchange I'm using right now where you can get some massive bonuses, and you can actually go ahead and join our team because we're doing pretty good. You can easily join just by using the link down below. Anyway, I was trying to say, we have our trades open, right? This is a trade we took together during one of the streams, and here are some trades we've taken over time on all the streams. If we take a look at XRP, which we can quickly do over here right now, we opened a about $1,500 trade. We've cashed out about $11,000 and we still have about $31,000 worth of gains to go. The reason I keep this open is to kind of offset portfolio against, a position. What I mean is we opened this because we were bullish on XRP at 50 something cents, right? We expected the price to start going crazy from there, which it has, as it's almost at $2. Most people would have cashed out when their $1,000 turned to $2,000. I right now, as you can see right here, right, have all of these positions open. We turned $1,000 almost into $40,000 with XRP. Most people cannot get to these numbers because they think, oh, we might top. Oh, this might be, No, I'm holding on. I'm keeping this trade open right now, even though I said before, hey, it's actually fine to cash out right now, for example, at $2, buy back cheaper, which if you did, you could have bought in cheaper by a good margin. But generally speaking, though, I like to keep some things open or just basically long instead of short, long whenever I get the chance to do so, because of what I've just told you, that Bitcoin has about a year of crazy gains left, and I believe XRP has a lot of gaining to do versus Bitcoin. So if that's the case, yes, I can sell here, for example, at these previous tops for profit. Like, for example, right now, I could sell right here, right now as we speak, and then try to buy back in if we, for example, do manage to land back at 182, which would be perfect, a nice little quick flip. But generally speaking, I know where we're headed over the next few months, so all I care about is opening new longs. All I care about is making sure that I've got a position here ready. Why? Well, there's two parts. On the one hand, the reason I like positions so much is because nobody knows where XRP is going to end up. All we can think of is relative sizes and some speculatory pieces. But what I do know is, if we look at the probability, there's a very high probability of just more and more up. Now, the reason I have positions over spot, I have a spot as well. I have a lot of XRP bags. I don't like to sell them because I'm always thinking in coins. So there, the actual price prediction becomes more important from the matter of where are you comfortable to sell the whole bag. I've personally said before, I think this run $12 per XRP is very, very likely. People keep jabbing at my theories, but I think it's very, very likely. I even think a $20 XRP is not outside of a margin, even though some people really think it's crazy. I think so. But anyway, when it comes to my spot backs, whatever I've got in my ledger, etc., I think about the amount of coins I've got. So let's say you want to get yourself to 10,000 XRP. It's all about the amount of coins, not necessarily about the cost to acquire them. It's just how many coins have you got, right? Because, well, ultimately, that's what's going to determine the value over a longer period of time. Whereas with this right here, all I care about is how many dollars it is making me. Again, I bought 23,000 XRP here for $1,000 or $2,000, whatever. But I don't really care how much XRP I bought. I just care about how many dollars is it in the profit. Now, if you're asking me, Dusty, should I buy more XRP? Because that was the original question. Think about it, right? We believe in the next year, Bitcoin's going to do well. XRP is going to do well. From that perspective, I would say, this is not financial advice. These are my thoughts. And this might not work for everybody because everything could crash tomorrow to zero. Put it in the back of your head. If we're talking about a spot bags, well, if I was bullish on this currency and I thought it was going to go up by a lot over the next year, it's nice to have more and more coins. If prices go down, I'd add more to my coin list because eventually I just want to have as many coins as possible to have the highest dollar value over the next year somewhere. That's because I can't get liquidated, and ultimately I care about having as many coins as possible because I believe every coin would hit $20 or something like that. So then my answer would be, well, it's pretty worth it to cash in because even or buy in, because even if the price goes back to $1, well, if you bought some today, you just buy some more at $1, you just buy some more at 40 cents. It doesn't really matter where it's going to be tomorrow or the next 2 weeks or next 3 months. All we care about is the highest value which it can reach over the next year. So from that perspective, if we believe the whole cycle is going to last another year or so, then the best thing we can do is just buy in and keep buying. If you're asking me differently, Dusty, is it nice to still get a position in for XRP? My answer is slightly different. There's a bigger factor of, hey, when to buy dips and when to sell because you're doing things at a higher frequency. For example, right now, the XP price is up a few 100% in the month. Right now, over the day, we're back up, let's see here real quick, we're back up about 6%. Now things are getting more risky because if you're asking me, Dusty, should I buy in at 193? I would like to buy in at 182, 183. I like to buy in, like I just showed you, when prices start coming back down, getting to these previous levels so I can open a new long and catch myself on the wind back upwards. Or right now, if I were to buy in, I'm basically speculating that because of tonight's close, that we are going to be able to break these previous barriers, which are not necessarily that strong from a first look. But if we go back and take a look at the broader XRP chart, we do realize there's been a lot of back and forth at these levels, as it's the highest monthly close we've ever had at $1.99 and the highest weekly close we've ever had, highest weekly point we've ever hit, at least in the 2021 run, at $1.96. So basically $1.96 to $1.99. That is our area of the most amount of resistance we can think of, all the way up until $2.75. From that perspective, so really short-term thinking, buying closer towards the $1.99 mark is very risky. And it's funny that I'm going to say this, but it's actually less risky, most likely, to buy once we've crossed this threshold if we get some confirmation to ride it all the way towards $2.70, whatever, instead of buying here. But if we're talking position-wise, then the lowest risk we can have is if we were to get a retrace, a bounce back all the way perhaps towards the previous tops, the previous highest on the medium term, the 2021 weekly close, which is about $1.56, let's just say $1.60, somewhere within this ballpark, and then try to open another long from there if we're trying to be very risk averse. If we have a little bit of a bigger bankroll or we know how to add margin, we can actually open along anywhere, even right now, and just keep adding our way down for maximum profits over a bounce back, because ultimately we know the direction, right? We know that there might be some correction. Oof, things might get bad. But ultimately, if we have long enough of a breath and we do not get liquidated on a position, anywhere we start opening them right now, we'll probably be able to average out, or at least average in, I should say. For example, right now with this squeeze, right? If things set through here, we could actually have a massive squeeze and just start going absolutely crazy. I mean, tonight is a very important weekly close, as I've covered in my previous videos. But let's just say we were to actually fall back down to this level right here, right? For example, 184. As long as you do not get liquidated, and we're able to make sure that if we were to fall back to an even broader support, $1.60, right there, $1.60 or whatever, if we are able to make sure, well, actually, if we really want to be risk averse, we could actually set our stop quite close, for example, towards the downside right here. For example, right there, then actually try to buy back in at, for example, 183, or actually set our stop below one of these major, we'd have to identify, but major psychological barriers or previous supports, and then try to buy back in if we get a major pullback, for example, all the way towards those most important levels at $1.60, $1.56. It just depends on what type of risk we want to have. If you already have positions in, like I'm showing you guys all the time here, I would not get out of them, because I do believe here, if the $2 boundary gets pushed, we might as well just break through and go absolutely crazy from there, because there's not that much room for error all the way up to like $2.75, which can happen really quickly. But again, I also have some very high risk tolerance. I kind of don't care if we go for a major crash. I have no liquidation price here. I have enough margin to fill up this entire position, so we can go back down. If we do manage to fall back down, I'm going to be buying like a madman. Would I still buy here? To answer my own question, yeah, why not? If I have a long enough breath to buy my way back down and make sure I'm able to sustain a position, or I just have enough liquidity to keep buying in chunks, for example, by buying a bit every single day or buying every single week, just making sure I get average prices. It's like I've said to you guys in my cash out video, if you're averaging things out, any day you start buying is quite proper. If you're asking me the question of should I switch to another currency, that's a completely different ballpark, because now you're comparing all these different baskets to one another. Nobody knows for sure which one is going to do better than the other one. It's just literally guessing work. So what I always say is it's always best to properly diversify. But if you ask me, is it still wise to enter the crypto space right now to buy more XRP? Me personally, I'd say you're buying at a 300% increase from last month. Many people are thinking of selling here rather than buying, but if I had no crypto, or I really want to just keep adding more, I'd do it, because I know that even at $2 right here, I can just start buying here. It doesn't matter. If you had bought anywhere in the past, think about this properly. If you'd bought anywhere in the past, even at $3, and you just kept on buying, your average price would probably be about 30 cents per XRP. Right now, you'd be at a 7 or so X. It might have taken a few years, sure, right? But at the end of the day, let's say you were at a 7X, even though it took some time. There's almost nothing that could have been better than that over this period of time. Even Bitcoin, some people say, oh, Dusty, but Bitcoin would have been way better than XRP, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you think about it, right, you bought XRP at some really stupid point, at $1.20 back here. But you kept on buying. You were able to buy it like 10 cents in 2020, whatever. Or you bought at a stupid price at like $1.30 right here. You kept on buying. Now your average price is like 45 cents because you kept on buying. Right now at 45 cents, you'd again, like I just said, be at maybe a 4 or 5X or so in the span of a year or two. As long as you've got long enough breath, Anywhere is fine to buy, in my opinion. It's only once you start panicking and maybe want to panic sell or so that this might not be it for you, because we're already up a ton. If that's the person you are, then you're not better off buying momentum assets, because I always say in bull markets, we buy what's doing good because we expect it to do better. But you might be more of a person of you buy when things are in distress because you want them to flip back around. But in bull markets, that's harder to do, man. It's way easier to buy something that's just going to keep on gaining, because as long as Bitcoin doesn't kick the bucket, most of these assets will continue. Like with AOS, I've been buying this like a freaking maniac. My average price is so low, like 25 cents. Even at 50 cents, kept on buying. At 70 cents, kept on buying, like I told you guys last week. And now we are at $1.15, right? Or Brett. Again, I've been buying this for a long time. Even at 17 cents, I said, hey, I think it's still good. HBAR, last week, I told you guys at 50 cents, I think it's really, really still good. Algorand, it's at 50 cents already. Holy smokes. But just now at 30 cents, I said, oh, guys, it's up 3x this month, but it's still really good. Right now, it's at 50 cents. And so, yes, you might get completely unlucky and you buy the highest point ever, but have a long enough breath and you'll still, in my opinion, make crazy amounts of profit on it. That is my thoughts on it. So is it risk-free to buy here? No. Well, with my strategy, yes, because all you have is replacement mental annoyance that you could have bought something else and had bigger returns. That's the only thing. But will you be able to make gains as long as crypto doesn't go to zero, which I don't believe, right? I think for all the coins that I ever buy, except for memes, there's, in my opinion, 100% chance that if I buy it right now, at some point in the future, it'll be worth a ton more than it is today. I know it might take months, it might take weeks, it might take years, but I know whatever I buy, it'll be worth more in the future, or at least for 9 out of 10 things that I buy. And if that's the case, all I need to do is have a long enough breath to average down if I get unlucky. Because right now, the last month or two, you would have gotten extremely lucky. If you bought just a few days after, you'd be up a ton, right? If you got unlucky, a few days of down and then right back up. But people, they all think really, really short term. They think, Dusty, I bought today at $1.80 and now it's at $1.72. Oh no. And I'm thinking, damn, I missed a good opportunity to buy a day later, but it's okay. I'm gonna add and soon enough we'll be up there. Last couple of months, you would have been extremely right, because take a look at those percentages for the last month. All these coins have done some crazy numbers. And again, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. There may be a correction in the midst, sure, but you can't predict when it's going to be. So some people, they have zero crypto and they're always sidelined because they only want to buy when Bitcoin's back at $30,000. They only want to buy when XP is back at 60 cents, but that might never happen again. So again, you might get lucky, you might get unlucky with the exact timing of things, but if you average things, you should always be fine. That's the way I go about it. But if you're asking me, guys, would I still buy at $2? Well, me personally, I got my pockets loaded. I've never sold a single XRP from my ledger, so I've got enough. But would I add to the position? If I had none, I'd still open one probably and just basically hope it's not the most unlucky of timings. But I think with my luck, we'd be good. I would just be able to average my way down and still make a crazy flip. Because remember, guys, all these trades were in tens of thousands of dollars worth of a loss before. Right now, they're small. Before, they were all at least $100,000 plus per position, because I averaged out trying to sell more off. So you can see there's only $13,000 worth of position left. This was all way more, but they were also in tens of thousands of dollars worth of a loss. I had a long enough breath, and eventually it turned out 59 cents, which was really, really high for when I bought in. It turned out to be a really, really good buy. This Ethereum trade, I think 2 months ago, was at minus $25,000. Right now we're up 16,000. I also have another Bitcoin trade where we turned $1,300 into $40,000, which was also at a big loss the moment I opened it. Again, long enough breath, you'll be fine. Just don't get liquidated. And guys, if you want to also trade, I'll leave a link down below to Blowfin. Right now, there are some crazy campaigns going on, which you might want to check out. And we've got a competition to beat, and I ain't losing. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This is a long video, I know. Make sure you press that like button and let me know down below if you agree or disagree. But I'm not going to change my opinion because I've been here for so freaking long, and my strategies are pretty damn awesome. But again, not financial advice. This has worked for me. But then again, I'm no seller. I'm no little wussy that's gonna sell if I'm at a loss. Sometimes a stop loss can work, sure, but generally speaking, in bull markets, what do you need a stop loss for? As long as you have a long enough breath, you'll win. My thoughts.